Hi, everybody. We continue our series about the meta. This is the fourth episode, and we talk about the Martell. Enjoy.
So unfortunately, I think Martells are kind of like Free Folk in that, they have four commanders, but really you only see one. And the other three aren't terrible, but the one commander is just so crazy strong. So Harman Aller is an incredible commander. Like Mance Raider, his card is crazy, and his tactics cards are also crazy. So he himself gives Iron Resolve, makes his own unit braver, harder to kill thematic.
Yeah.
He also has Supply Aid, and Supply Aid is kind of a broken ability. When I first saw it, I didn't think it was that bad until I saw it being abused. And the idea is you put Harmon in a cheap 5 point unit, probably Spearman. Spearman gives you some nice versatility with tactical repositioning, and you get to transform your 5 point wounds into more expensive wounds. For example, if you take Flayedmen, your 5 point wounds become 8 point wounds. But it's not even 1 to 1. It's I get D3 plus 1 wounds. So you're
Mm.
getting incredible value with supply aid. When I play Brathians, I think turning Stormcrow mercenaries or Lightbringers with Davos into Champions of the Stag with a 2+ save is pretty insane. So Supply Aid's really, really strong. And then his actual cards are crazy too. He's got Battle Endurance, which is one of the best cards in the game for dealing out offense. Martells don't have a lot of offense in their deck. In fact, they almost have no offense cards. So to have Battle Endurance is a huge boon on key units like Flayed Men, the Royal Guard, etc. Um, the Spiteful Truce is more healing. It combos so well with Doran NCU. You just need to survive to the end game. So Supply Aid and Spiteful Truce help you do that. And then lastly, he's got Set for Charge. Set for Charge is insane on a unit like Flayedmen. You charge Flayedmen, you outmaneuver them, and boom, they hit you first, maybe with Battle Endurance, so they have rerolls and maybe Sundering. You take a huge panic test, you take a bunch of wounds, and it's like great. You charge me, I just crushed you first. It's terrible. So like Harmon is really, really, really good. The other reason why Martells are really good is that every one of their units, and I think Sam said this earlier, is really good. There's no stinkers. There's no bad choices. Every unit, in my opinion, is a B plus to an A level kind of unit. They all have a role, and they're all very good at that role. At first, when I first played them, I thought, "Oh, the Sand Skirmisher is not that good. Oh, the Dervish is not that good." But the more I play against them, the more I actually think they're kind of broken. So, in particular, the two units I hate the most are the Royal Guard and the Sand Skirmishers. When we talk about a 7 point unit, they don't often make. Well, I guess that's not true. There's a lot of good 7 point units out there, and the more I play against Royal Guard, I think Royal Guard might be one of the best 7 point units in the game because they can do everything. They can fight and they can defend very well. They have got a good profile. Their attacks are 774. Compare that to Night's Watch. Night's Watch Sword Bros, who are 7 points, who also have martial training, are 754, I think.
No, I
So
have a 765.
765? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
For Night's Watch, the
yeah,
Sword Bros?
yeah.
Oh, dang. I thought it was
Yeah,
seven.
I
Okay.
got hit with them enough when I play against Alex. I know by heart their attack profile.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, but the Royal Guard are 774, even after you lose
Swan
rank.
Bros are 754. I have it right in front of my
Ah,
eyes.
my bad. Sorry.
Okay, that's a big difference.
My bad. I'm so
774,
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
754. So you don't even lose attacks when you lose a rank. Martial training means that they're going to have a lot of consistent hits. You're vulnerable means they're going to push more damage through, and when you hit them back, they've got shield wall to block potentially 3 hits at a time. So they do everything really, really, really well.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then for 1 point, you can throw an Obara, and now they have Sundering too to add to it.
Yeah, and their
So strong.
morale
Yeah.
is very strong because 5 plus morale is also like helping them a lot.
Yes. Now, sure, the armor save is only 4+, right? But remember, the Martell deck has so many tools to blunt your charge. You charge them, and half the time it's disorderly when they play superior positioning. You charge them, boom, Doom Tactics, and now you roll your lowest dice. You activate Rising Temperatures, now you're -1 to hit, and maybe you can't play tactics cards. So I've had a game where I activated my like Tully Cav and like smash into 10 attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, you activated rising temperatures, -1 to hit, and you can't play cards, you can't play Berserker Tactics. I'm like, Okay, great. I'll charge. Oh, I was set for charge. I hit you first. You lose some models. Now maybe lose a rank and you have less dice. It was a nightmare. So I really hate Royal Guard. I think they're crazy good for 7 points. Sorry,
But
I interrupted somebody.
no, no, but that's true because what you told me, it's the Dune Tactics combo. You play Dune Tactics, almost everybody gonna have their lower number attack dice. That mean that they're gonna attack you like with 4 dice average, and your Royal Guard gonna block 3 because of shield wall. That mean that if you're lucky and you all hit all your wound, you may pass 1 wound. It's crazy, and you charge them.
You charge them. Yeah, exactly. So, and the other unit that I'm starting to really really hate is the Sand Skirmishers. When I
Oh
first
yeah.
saw them, I thought, oh, they're not that bad. They only hit on fours with their melee attack. They don't seem that crazy. And I've just learned to really hate their flexibility. So, what most people do is they put the 1 point Spear Lord. Is he called a Spear Lord? He's called a Spear Lord. Yes, from the Royal Guard in the unit, he gives them boldness and courage. And what that means is, at full ranks, they throw in more attack dice, and then they count as one rank higher. So their profile, I believe, is I should check here, but I think their highest dice is 7. So they
Yeah,
would
it's
get
seven
8
five
dice.
four.
8, yeah, 8, 7, 5 becomes their attack profile. So even on the second rank, still throwing 7 dice. Once they get in range, the amount of damage they can deal is pretty insane because they can attack from the horse, they can attack from the attack zone, and they can attack from cunning ploy. And then they can do their normal attack when they activate. So once they get in range, they can normally get 2 attacks on the opponent. One unit attack, they're going to use their scout openings to get rerolls and precision, which means it doesn't matter how good your armor is. When they reroll dice, they're going to get some automatic wounds through. So they are very reliably double tapping units. In fact, against free folk, this is a really good unit to blow up raiders and to blow up a chariot or to blow up a trapper. When they get hit by a chariot, let's say, they can retreat and then double tap. Sorry, they can shoot into the chariot after they retreat from the chariot. So this unit is very very flexible. They've got a 14-inch threat range. They move 6. If they get around to your flank, it's very very hard to shake them up. And
I know
they're
that you are right because I play against Ranger Hunter of the Night Watch so often, and they are quite alike because both of them have quick
Mhm.
fire, and you are so right. They can dish out so much damage. It's crazy.
Yes. And yeah, exactly. The maneuver and shoot is so underrated. Um, so I think that's a great unit. But yeah, I think the last thing, of course, that makes them crazy, we got to talk about the elephant in the room is Doran. Doran, is it Doran Martell's name? It must be Doran.
Yeah, it's Doran
Yeah,
Martin,
yeah,
Prince of Dorn, the one
Prince
that
of
everybody
Dorne.
hates.
He's kind of broken. So I think we're gonna have a long discussion here, but he's broken because he is literally an NCU that can bring you 6 victory points in a game. Okay. Now people are gonna say anyone can counter him except free folk, right? You can bring Peter. So Sam, maybe this is where we can have a discussion. And I used to
yeah,
think
yeah,
like you. I used to say, "Oh, easy, bring Peter." When you go first as the enemy player, you take one zone that you need with Peter. You use the water garden, and he has to activate the board. You take the second zone. He doesn't get his tokens. And what I found in practice was it's so annoying to do that because that means you're not
yeah,
taking the zones
yeah,
that you want, right? You're not taking the horse or the sword or the heal. You're taking these other zones and using the water garden. And your second NCU is probably taking a crappy zone also. So it really screws up your own game plan. And then the Martell player goes, cool, I'm not getting points of Doran. I'm just going to kill you. I'm just going to kill you and win the old fashioned way. Um, so, and that's if you take Peter. If you don't take Peter, he just plays safe, gets a point or two from objectives, and then racks up 6 more with Doran. If anything, the only problem with Doran is that in a tournament game, you don't have 3 hours to play, and you don't always get to turn 5 or turn 6. So maybe he only gets you 2 points. But even 2 points for an NCU is kind of broken.
Never thought about the tournament fact that if the player against you play a little bit more slowly, Dorans will be less good because we when we play home game, we always finish the game, and I
Right.
always found Doran very good because of that. But it's true, you need to check deck in a tournament.
Yeah,
That's
and Harman's the same problem because battle endurance only gets better as the game goes late. So if the game ends turn 4, it wasn't that bad, you know?
Yeah. I agree with you. And Doran, like you said, you need to bring barriers. You need to make bad choice for your NCU choice. And like you said, after that, the 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 uh, the Martell player gonna take it easy, back burner, and make move to kill you. The only faction I think it's a counter. It's the Lannister because of intrigue and subterfuge.
Yes, absolutely. Or if you take Olenna with Renly, which, most people don't do that. But like, yes, Intrigue, Subterfuge, and Peter, you just gotta stop Dorn once or twice, and then it's a normal game again.
Why Olena with Randy? Olena
Uh,
okay, but Randy why?
Oh, she literally turns Dorn off.
Yeah,
She
her yes, but you mean Renly side faction?
Renly side faction, yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
But no one really takes Renly side. Actually, that's not true. I think Eldon is once a very good commuter, but we'll let let's talk about
Mm. Okay, but I agree with you. Sam, did you add something else that you wanted to add on why they are strong?
no, no, I think I never realized. I don't didn't study them that much, but I didn't never realize that the Royal Guard was that strong, especially if you can get them with battle endurance. It's horrible how they can be strong.
set for charge.
Uh,
Oh God.
with set for charge, sundering, rerolls. It's terrible. They're like Sworn Bros, a bit
Mhm.
different profile, but even maybe a little bit better. It's crazy. Yeah, so yeah, the Doran NCU, the victory point. Uh, I don't agree that it changed that much the tempo of your NCU board because yes, it gives him control of the board that you have to block him, so you have maybe to choose zones that you don't really want. But you don't need to do it every time. You just need to succeed twice in the 6 rounds of the game. And so you can choose easily which round, especially round two. It's a bit easier if you go first on round two. It's a bit easier to counter already once, and
Yeah.
even if you don't counter him twice. If you counter him only one time, then he gets only 2 victory points. So
Yeah.
it's already a lot less.
Me,
Uh,
I add one
like
thing
he
to
gets
add.
4 victory points. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Go.
Me, I add one thing to add that a key thing is broken in the faction, and it was Elaria Sen.
Oh,
Oh, she's
absolutely. Oh
amazing.
yeah, yeah. She's terrible to play against.
She's
So
Me, I
strong. Yeah,
fucking hate her. Maybe even
I think
more.
it's one of the best NCU in the game.
Yeah, maybe
Actually,
because I'm a main Lannister player, I have
Yeah.
a little bit less problem with Doran, but Elria Sen pissed me off. I she's almost two in CU in one.
yeah. Yeah, no, the scary thing about Martell's is their NCU lineup is fantastic. So Doran's crazy,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Alaria's crazy. I think Oberyn Martell is also crazy, actually.
He is in a. I played against list with Oberyn Martell, and on paper it don't look that strong, but it's actually very strong, especially if your opponent has a set for charge in his end.
Oh
You
my
can
God.
receive a lot of damage before even you can attack. It's terrible.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I felt the same way. I was like, this guy doesn't look that good. Or I would
It's
take
not that
five
good.
hits.
No, it's very good to protect your
Very good.
low armor units to deter from attacks. It's very strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You put him on Royal Guard sitting on the objective in the middle, and then you're like, well, I have to fight these guys. I have to push
Or
them off.
even on just you put them on spearmen. You put them on spearmen. You can't attack them because you get hits from NCU and then you get set for charge from their spear attack. So it's a yeah, it's a really excellent NCU in my opinion.
I actually think
Yeah,
Martells are a good counter to Free Folk for that reason. Not
Of
only do they
course, yeah,
not have
yeah,
Peter, right? So Dorn has more free reign,
for sure.
but
Yeah.
the fact that all the set for charge, the Oberyn Martell, the healing that they can do, the sand skirmishers double tapping units, actually think Martells are one of the reasons why Free Folk are less dominant nowadays.
that's true. But that is a little bit of thing that I like less. I hate when you have like a rock paper scissors situation that in a tournament if you are a Martell, you're gonna win against Free Folk. If you are Free Folk, you're gonna win against Lannister. You know, I dislike when you have a faction and when you face another faction. If is the faction that is the rock to your scissor, you said, "Oh, I'm almost. I have a lot chance to win against that faction. Even if you list build against this faction, sometime you start with a big disadvantage."
I agree that it's not a good balance with the game to be rock paper scissors. I agree.
Yeah, anyway, but okay, that was crazy good. All right, and now you the two lists that you will recommend to anybody that will want to go to a tournament with the
Yeah.
Martell.
So the first list is going to be, I think, the standard Harman Aller list. So what I see typically and what I've played against is you put them in Spearmen for what I said. Spearmen have a very useful ability, the tactical reposition, to give you ability to push or to retreat. They're cheap points to supply aid. You then take the Royal Guard. I think they're a pretty great staple. And you take flayed men as well. So the flayed men give you that standard cavalry that can just go out and smash things, but flayed men being healed by supply aid, very scary. Flayed men
Mm.
with battle endurance, very scary. Flayed men that can set for charge you, very scary. And lastly, I think you got to take the Sand Skirmishers with the Spear Lord. Having a flexible unit that can run around the flanks and shoot things up, double tap them, very good. Your three NCUs, Alaria, Doran, and I personally like Peter, or you can take Oberyn, either or, whatever flavor you like, is I think the typical seven activation
Oh
Doran
yeah,
unit. Then
Peter before Beren. I understand the bonus that you have with Peter, but I don't know. Okay,
Both are good choice. Both are good
yeah,
choice.
that's true.
yeah, I think
Nymeria also is good, and Nymeria
Nyberry is
is
not bad
also.
too, for
Mm.
sure.
All right,
Um,
but
And the second list is aggressive. Again, I don't know if you ever take this list because Harmon's just so good. But you can take a Obara Sand list. I actually really like Obara just for her. I don't even care about her card. But one of her cards is pretty good. Reckless Strikes is a pretty good card. So because she gives a unit such great aggressive stats, I think you got to put her in the Royal Guard. To give Royal
mm,
Guard auto 6 charge with Sundering, with Fuel by Slaughter, makes them even more scary, more dangerous. So you put her in there. You take 5-point unit of Spearmen just because they're cheap and they let you again push or retreat, and then you take double Starfall Knights. And the Starfall
I
Knights,
like that.
yeah, crazy with Reckless Strikes, right? To get critical blow and precision on 10 dice, can just explode a unit easily. And then for your three
Oh wow,
NCUs, you
wow.
take Alaria as a must-have, and then if it's going to be an aggressive list, if you're going to be fighting, probably take Oberyn. And it's hard not to take Doran. If you take Doran, it just messes up your opponent's plans as you're like crushing towards him. So you can take Doran, you can take Peter, but yeah, again, any combination there is pretty good. So yeah, double star, double knights for reckless strikes, Royal Guard with Obara and Spearman.
So this it's crazy that you say that because this I noticed that combo before. Let's say Stark and Lannister. You have Tully Knight and Knights of Castle Rock that are 10 dice plus Sundering on charge. The thing is, and maybe I'm missing something. Lannister, you have no way of giving critical blow or precision to your knights. Uh, and Stark, I think you have like one NCU that does it, the Mormont NCU that could give critical blow. So having critical blow on 10 dices on a charge with plus probable rerolls, it's ridiculous. It's you can this I agree you can so easily one shot almost any unit with this. It's crazy, and especially with the 6 movement, you can go get even other cavalry. You can go get them so far that they wouldn't even be able to charge you back on the same round. It's a crazy combo. This.
I like Reckless Strike so much. I've actually used Dario Nahara's neutral commander in my story because I also think that Starks they like neutral units. They like Stormcrows because they can take Rickon and Osha. They like Stormcrow archers who are better than their own Stark archers. So I've actually used this combo before with Starks, and Dario's cards are honestly not that bad. Like Reckless Strikes is good. He's
Yeah,
got a
yeah, yeah,
healing
yeah, yeah,
card,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's got some play.
Mhm.
That's true. I 100% agree with you. That's a scary list that you just made over there. And now,
Because
if
if you, yeah, sorry, if you think about it, just it will never happen, of course, because you won't roll 10 times 6, but you have a potential of 30 wounds because you have critical blow, so 20 hits with the 10 more wounds. It's crazy. It's almost the whole enemy army you could kill in one
Yeah.
attack.
I know it's true. It's crazy because I remember the days that the Lannister Knight have Sundering and Critical Blow when they were
Yeah,
charging,
yeah, yeah,
and the damage output of this unit was crazy. And now, like you said, you bring your knight with the Martell, and you have the tactic card. It's a so much of a threat. Okay,
yeah.
maybe you'll be unlucky, but your opponent need to have this at the back of their mind because if they are not careful, they're gonna get one shot.
And what's funny with this is you say, oh well, to counter this, I'll put weaken token, but then you have the NCU that will remove it and give you vulnerable instead to you. So it's a difficult combo to counter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because they have such a good NCU alignment, and like you said, Elaria-san is there to back you. Okay, you cannot weaken them because she's gonna be there and she's gonna remove the weaken. Then even if you say, okay, to prevent that big charge, I'm gonna do this. No, Elaria-san say, screw you. I will have my big charge if
Yeah,
I want.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, and after that, if you have a balance patch, what would you like, Clarence?
I again, I know Sam disagrees. I really think they got to change Doran. I think they got to change the amount of VPs he gains from 2 to 1. If he gained you even only 3 VPs, that'd be broken. I think if he
Yeah.
gained you 1 VP, it's fine. So have the amount of VPs would be my starting point. Um, Similarly, they got to nerf Harman, I think. He's just too obviously good. They got to change one of his cards. They have to, swap it out with somebody else because he's the too obvious choice. So you got to nerf Harman and you got to boost up the other commanders. Again, they're not even that bad. Oberyn and Arihota are not that bad, but they're just not on Harman's level. So that'd be my wish is to have Doran's victory points and to boost up the other commanders to Harman's level.
I agree. And me,
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
agree.
push even my 8 against Ilariasan. I will choose between one of her two ability, not both.
Oh, that's fair. Yep.
Because when you play Baratheon, you can bring one NCU that look like this one. If you took the little girl, what's her name again?
Shira Errol.
Exactly. If you took Shara, she just remove a token or give you one, but not both at the same time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.